Hello boys, today's video we're going to be talking about what happened to Louis Shorasagi after he lost to Iga in Josie. So, back in Josie, Iga and him, he won the Longinus or Lunar Cup. Then he went to face Iga. Then Louis was going to be like, oh, you're going to get clapped, you're so bad, kid. But then Louis lost. Then after that, he got ghosted. What did he do? Well, he was in a GT, but then he appeared in Super King. He skipped a generation, which is mildly strange of me. I watched some Sparking myself, and when I saw that in GT that he skipped, and this guy called Loden replaced him, like Loden, what? When he got replaced by Loden, it made me want to smack someone. And I think I know why. So, when Louis got lost to Iga, he was using Bloody probably still at that time, or Brutal, whatever. He was probably still defeating people. But he probably held that grudge kind of maybe against Iga. And then when he was doing that, what he probably did is that he either made a Super King Bay at that time, or he didn't make a Super King Bay until now. Until like that series. Because all I am saying right now is that if I were Louis and I lost to someone that's not that close to my level, I would be very furious and I would want to just go off killing. Don't kill people with your Beyblades. But I mean, like, I would go off beating people, challenging them, trying to regain my honor, trying to regain what I did, because Louis was one of the top leaders. But then he just got ghosted. No one mentioned him in GT. Maybe once, I'm not sure. And then, he got ghosted for the rest of GT. But then what probably happened is that when you're seeing all these people getting Super King Bays, you're gonna be, oh wow, okay. Well, then he probably upgraded his Longinus into that. Maybe before, or maybe at that time. I am really not sure, guys. But guys, probably when he did it, probably when he got his rage, he probably was just fine with it. And he either got his rage maybe during GT, he wanted to be ahead of the curve so then he can still win. Or he may have done something and then he's like, wow, okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so guys, basically, probably during Super King or something like that, Louis probably was really mad, like big mad. Because, don't tell you why? Because he didn't have a GT Bay, because someone already had Longinus in that time. So then, probably two things probably happened. One, he got his Rage Longinus early. Like before Volt got his Brave Valkyrie, probably, maybe. Because he's like, wow, this guy stole my Beyblade, I'm gonna do that. And maybe that happened with Free too, because Fumiya stole his Beyblade. So maybe they both got their Super Kings either early, or they got them as soon as that. But then, think about this. Do you want me to tell you what happened, boys? What happened is that Louis really would have been fine with Super King if he had Zwei, but since he didn't have Zwei, do you want to tell you what happened, guys? He couldn't control Rage. And since he couldn't control Rage, it was hard for him to blade. So guys, when you're doing something, what you have to do is you basically have to adapt, like when you get into a new grade, you have to adapt to the changes, you have to adapt. So when he was probably trying to adapt to Super King, he was probably having a hard time because GT was close to Super King. So if he adapted to GT, he would have had a better time. But since he got his early, he had more time to practice probably. And guys, this is not canon, by the way. This is just my simple theory, okay, guys? I'm not saying this is 100% true. I am just saying that is what I think. Okay, guys? So, basically, when I was watching some Super King or GT, I was like, oh, wow, they replaced them. And I haven't gotten to Beyblade scene that much, but I used to watch it a lot. So I'm like, wow, what's going on? And then when I was watching it a lot, I was like, what? Why did they replace Louis? No, that makes sense. They were saving Louis for Super King. And in my opinion, this is what they did. So they took him out of GT so that they could practice with Rage or Bloody. Then they saw Louis get away, and then they're like, okay, we can do one of two things. Either one, we give Louis a Zwei but not close to Loden, or number two, what we do is that we are going to remove him from this, and we're gonna give him a Super King early probably, because that would be my fault if I was to Karatomi or something, you know? Because when you take away a character, that does a lot of things to the storyline. And I mean a lot, okay, guys? So, when I was playing some Beyblade myself, I was legit freaking out. Because I realized that I was playing with a Luna / Longinus. I wasn't Louis, so I'm like, okay, guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna do... So what I did, guys, I basically tried to think of a theory. Why would they remove Louis? Such a good character, and I bet Jerome would have a way good time battling against Louis, you know? 'Cause when you battle against Louis, you just have a good time. You know, guys? You just have a nice time. And Louis kind of like fun and practical to play with, but he's also like a tryhard. So, my theory is, guys. My theory is that when they removed him from GT, when he was removed from GT, he got Rage, and when he got Rage, he basically just couldn't handle it. So he had problems practice. Then when everyone got Super King, he won. He was really good. And even though he already had good talent, you guys already know that if you skip a gen, if you get your first Beyblade in a gen, you're good. Because then you don't have to adapt. But then think about this. If you guys play dual layers, okay? You guys bought a dual layer or a single, and then you take a break from Beyblade. But then you buy Super King or GT, and then you play with it, and it's gonna be really intense trying to go with the meta. So that was probably what Louis was doing back in GT. He was either, okay, I can either go into the meta and get my own Longinus, but since Loden took Longinus, he made his own meta. I think he got the second Super King Bay. Because I realized, guys, this is actually just on the fly. Lane had the first Super King Bay. And you might guys be saying, oh yeah, right, sure. And then, yeah, he had first Uranus. And what was first Uranus? A Super King Bay. And what kind? Was it the first? But guys, basically, 22, what you gotta do, guys? Okay, here's the thing. Louis, single layer, 1. Dual layer. I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, God layer. He got good and almost won the championships. Then broke. Then he upgraded to Bloody. After he upgraded to Bloody, he he went to Zwei. And then when he went to Zwei, he couldn't. Because guess who already had Zwei? Loden. And after Loden can't do it, and after Loden got him, he probably got Super King Beyblade as soon as Lane got it afterwards. Then that's the chronological reason why maybe they removed Louis from GT. He was practicing with Bloody. Then after he practiced with Bloody, everyone got Super King. Then he used Super King base and he won all the time. Because usually he was already ahead of the curve no matter what. Like he could use a single layer, like he could use like a dual layer in, he could use a dual layer in, let me think. Like he could use a dual layer in, God, and he would win because he's just good. And he's good with the bait that he has. So when he got removed from GT, all he did was practice with Bloody. He was so dang good. And after he practiced with Bloody, going into what he did next, guys, he got Rage as soon as Super King came out. After, sorry, I choked. After, sorry, after he got Bloody, he switched to Rage. Then after he got to Rage, we're now at the current point. We're in Super King, and yeah. Bye guys, hope you enjoyed. Peace. And by the way, hope you like that Among Us backwards footage. I know it's not Beyblade battles, but I couldn't find any.